of things. Well, let's continue with the discussion around VBS, and we're joined by investigative journalist, and that's Pauli van Wyk from Scorpio. Pauli, thanks for your time. Thanks for making it here. So talk to me about what your sense is now, given the information that's come out. You've been writing extensively, in particular, about Floyd Shivambu's statements, particularly inside the Finance Portfolio Committee.
Yes, indeed. So can I take you a few months back to around
Let's
June?
do that.
And these portfolio committees that you're referring to suddenly turned almost like verbally violent when Floyd Shivambu, as the MP at the time, had a vitriolic attack on the DDG of Treasury, Deputy Director General Ismail Mamoniat. And that was after Mr. Mamoniat was speaking and delivering a report on VBS, on municipalities, and on matters relating to that. And
SARS also.
SARS as well, you remember well. So at the time, we all were wondering, what is it with Mr. Shivambu and this anti-African or anti-Indian type of outburst? And at the time, Marian Tam, my colleague at Daily Maverick, and I wrote a story, and we said, we know already that the VBS matter will become a problem very soon. And here we are. So it was very clear that Mr. Mamoniat at the time stymied a lot of municipalities so as not to bank anymore with VBS. At the time, VBS was already curated, and Mr. Mamoniat was instrumental in that happening. Now, from there, the attack then, because now we know, and when we connect the dots, it's clear that Brian Shivambu, the younger brother of Mr. Floyd Shivambu, got 16 million, and the report into the VBS matter tells us that. But what we, in the meantime, got is that bank statements show that from that 16 million, Mr. Floyd Shivambu got around 10 million.
Also, he benefited from the 16 million that
directly.
his brother... So you've been able to now make that direct link.
Yes. So we closed that circle.
So repeat that number again that he may have gotten. So 16 million goes to his younger brother.
Yes.
How much of that 16 million did Mr. Shivambu benefit?
Around 10 million, apparently.
My goodness.
No.
So he was well aware. The public right now, listening to what you're saying, it's clear the connections have been made that Floyd Shivambu attacking Ismail Mamoniat and the institution that he works for, by the way, because part of the accusation by Shivambu to Treasury was that they are negligent, and there was also another accusation that they had leveled that perhaps Treasury would not have exercised the kind of controls in order to stop whatever was happening at VBS. It's quite clear now that Floyd Shivambu knew what was coming.
I completely agree. And adding to that, quite bizarrely, Mr. Shivambu also accused Mr. Mamoniat of overreaching his power. Can you remember that? So clearly, Mr. Shivambu tried to create a distance, and at the same time, Mr. Julius Malema and Mr. Shivambu started with certain attacks on the media. Especially lately, in the past 2 months, we heard how the media is going to attack the EFF very soon. So that's the pattern here. Cast aspersions on Treasury, the Reserve Bank and SARS so that no one will believe them when they speak out. Cast aspersions on the media so that no one will listen to us when you and I stand here and say, look at the situation.
Also importantly then, Pauli, the support by the EFF of individuals like Tom Moyane. There's another person, the controversial figure that they have been supporting lately. What should the public glean from that? Because Tom Moyane, as we all know, is suspended from SARS because of the shenanigans that have happened under him. What should the public make of that? And should the EFF be taken seriously?
So Mr. Tom Moyane, when he came into SARS, he did two very important things. He stopped internal investigations in SARS that looked at corruption that's colluding with the outside world from inside SARS, and he decimated the investigative capacity of SARS, especially looking at tobacco wars and the tobacco rings and in South Africa. Now, we also know, and this is a fact, and the EFF had to accede to that, that the tobacco people funded the EFF, especially in those early days. And they're still good friends. So it's very clear that when a new commissioner come in and all these investigative structures are functioning again inside SARS, there might be huge problems for any tobacco baron in South Africa.
And as you've already mentioned, they still have that good relationship with Mr. Mazzotti. That's the person that was funding them, who's linked to tobacco trade. Thank you very much, Pauli van Wyk, for that insight. Very, very interesting indeed, making those direct links. So there we are. Floyd Shivambu, clearly, according to Pauli van Wyk, has benefited from the 16 million rand that his younger brother has gotten out from VBS Bank.